Welcome back, loyal listeners, to season 2, episode 22 of the Point 3 podcast. It is Wednesday, October 22nd, and we are absolutely pumped to have you join us once again. I am Lou, joined by Spider Brando, and you'll see another face on here. Some of you may remember our special guest. We are joined today with returning guest Nate from Thwip Media. Nate, what is going on?
It's going very good. I'm very excited to be back and get into some very interesting topics you got tonight. So thanks again for having me back on here.
Absolutely, absolutely. And speaking of some of those topics, we are going to be talking about the latest superhero news and notes from the past week, plus chatting about the MCU, DCU, and more from NYCC 2024. Plus, stay tuned because we are going to be doing a Venom 3 preview and how it can potentially have some big implications for Spider-Man 4 and potentially Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars talks will be coming after that. So comment on the video down below. Let us know, what do you think will happen in Venom 3? The internet has been pretty kind to this movie so far, so there definitely is still time to let us know your thoughts or share your thoughts on NYCC 2024. But let's not waste any more time. We got to share the 3 most important things that we mention every single week. Keep watching, keep reading, keep nerding out. Nate, what have you been watching this last week?
I've been watching The Penguin, and I'm loving it. It's like probably the show I think that's on TV right now. I kind of gave up on Agatha, so I've been going after Penguin. I'm loving Penguin, what it's setting up. Colin Farrell is incredible in it. Kristen Milioti, she's like, it's an Emmy award. Like, she's gonna win. Like, I hope she wins. So she's really good in it, and I can't wait to see where it goes from here. I think we're 3 or 4 more episodes.
Yeah, I think there's 8 total, right?
Pretty sure.
I think so.
But
yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes from where 5 leaves up. I'm not going to say anything for spoilers, but yeah, very excited. Please go watch Penguin if you have not.
Definitely. And for a keep reading, I'm going to give a special shout out on behalf of Hero Scroll, who will be joining us next week. He's been doing some damage with the Ultimate Universe and also the Absolute Universe, which we're going to touch on in just a little bit here. But definitely stay tuned back to the Point 3 podcast. We'll be giving some thoughts on some absolute heat that are coming out of both Marvel and the DC universes. But Spider Brando, what have you been nerding out about?
Shadow the Hedgehog, as always. Shadow Sonic Generations just came out, and this game has been having some crazy wild reviews, especially for Sonic game. Keep on seeing all the memes as like Sonic fans don't know how to react to such good reviews from like a game, because the last couple have gotten criticized a lot. But from everything I've seen about it, it looks amazing, and I have to purchase it still, waiting for Friday to get paid. I'm going to download it and grind it over the weekend. And I can't wait to just grind, then just run around as Shadow Sonic and get a little taste of Shadow before Sonic 3 comes out, which I will be nerding out about in 2 months from now as well.
That's fair. It's fair.
And crazy.
Love it.
Nah.
And what? And what?
Yeah, wait, here, Taylor Johnson?
Dude, sign me up. I was just throwing it out there today. I was like, I don't have much hype for Venom. However, for Kraven,
I'm sure we'll get to it, but the reactions from NYCC were actually pretty positive from what they showed for it.
That's a year plus strong of positive sentiments for the movie. Is it the Sony savior? I don't know. We're gonna find out. Which one wins in the box office? Kraven or Sonic?
I think
Sonic.
100%. Yeah, it has to be Sonic.
It's gotta be Sonic. Yo, if it's not Sonic, I will be so upset at this entire year.
Your three options at Christmas are Nosferatu, Craven, or Sonic.
Also,
And Sonic's the
Mufasa
family
too.
movie.
There is Mufasa as well.
That is true. Yes.
That's gonna be a little. That one's gonna give
That's
Sonic
probably
a run
I think
for
that's
his money,
probably
and
gonna
I'm a little scared for it. But Craven, nah, ain't no way.
which is going to do more in the end, Nosferatu or Morbius?
Nosferatu for
Yes.
sure.
And that's for that too.
Yes. Yeah.
I can't wait for that one.
I have a lot
Actually-
of people hyped for that.
Yeah. No, but listen, everyone, we have tons of stuff to get to in this live. Spider Brando, hit us with some rapid fire news before we jump into the DC dive.
We have some Dennis Villeneuve says he plans to make Dune Messiah sooner than he expected. So that is great because Dune 2 is almost crazy to think about. About 4 months from now, it's been out for a whole year already. Dune Prophecy? No, is it Prophecy or is that the game?
Prophecy's
know.
the show.
The show.
Yeah, okay. So yeah. Dune Prophecy is coming out soon though, which is nice for us Dune fans.
And shocker, set in the same universe. Who would have thought?
Oh. Happy they had to confirm that.
Yeah. No, it's good. That's good.
But yeah, I'm hyped for Dune. So next up, we got Godzilla -1 will be re-released in theaters on November 1st. That gets me excited because I might go rewatch it myself.
Yeah,
It
me
was
too.
freaking phenomenal. The re-release also includes 13 minutes of exclusive bonus content for the franchise's 70th anniversary. And that is the main reason why I want to go see it, because if you get to see more of that movie, I'm in.
Did either of you watch it on Netflix?
Yes. Yeah.
No, actually, I haven't rewatched it since the theaters.
I watched
Been
it
holding
in
out.
English and subbed, and I'm more than happy to go back to the theater to watch it again. Like
Damn.
it's good.
I gotta watch it in black. I gotta watch the black and white version of it still.
I haven't seen that yet either.
I haven't seen that one either. No, definitely, Minty. If you get a chance to go see this in theater, it's. I mean, obviously you've seen it, but it's epic. The soundtrack, like, get your version of Dolby, whatever it might be. It's clutch, super good. But listen, for those of you who have been living, nah, man. Then maybe I
in Japan. This is the funny part about it.
It is? We can't go see it? No, you're lying to me.
No, wait, really? That's
Does
crazy.
Netflix have a
actually.
dub version of it?
Well, now I'm questioning everything.
Because I watched it in Japanese with the subtitles.
Oh. All right,
Yeah, I
guys.
watched the subtitles of it.
Hang on.
Well,
We
in
can breathe.
theaters.
We can breathe easy. On the official Godzilla website, December 1st. Oh, 2023. I'm an idiot. Sign me out. Oh, I'm canceling myself. That's the release for 2023, December 1st. Oh, point 2 podcast.
Usually movie theaters do have subtitles for foreign movies, so
Yeah.
that would be really strange if your theater doesn't have the subs on.
Yeah.
Well,
At least where
he's
I'm
in.
from.
He was
I-
in Japan, not to dox him, but dox him at the same time.
To,
So I
to
think
be
just because of that alone, that's their native language.
Yeah, to be fair, here I can confirm we saw it. It was subbed. Dang.
Wild.
There's no
wild.
way. I'm gonna look into this. I'm gonna circle back on this. I need to know if I can see it again.
I'm gonna try.
You're flying to Japan?
I've been asked to recently, but I cannot.
Come
at
on,
this
come on,
moment.
come on.
I want to pet a capybara, or go to Capybara Cafe.
Capybara Cafe. We could get on a tangent. Okay,
Dude, I could go on for an hour for that. So
That's fair.
that's all the general news I have. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, let's talk about some
There's a lot of
NYCC.
juicy stuff.
Yeah, DC. Nate, what was your favorite thing from NYCC for DC?
For DC, I don't know. Really, the main thing that comes to mind is Creature Commandos.
Yes, sir.
I'm very curious to see what that's about because the trailer actually looks pretty good. I'm excited to see all the characters because obviously these are completely new ones. We have no idea who these people are. And by the way he explained in the panel, it seems like this is going to be a mix of a very emotional story with each character's background, but also very comedic. It's dark. It like balances all together. So I'm very curious to see what that one's like. So that would probably be the standout for me for the DC side of NYCC.
Yeah, let's talk about Creature Commandos just a little bit more because I think for Spider Brando and I, we've kind of been anticipating this. Hero, of course, as well. This kind of dropping. But what was the vibe that you guys got from this? Because there are a couple other animated projects and just kind of a bigger, live action movie that this gave me the feel of. Seen some discourse online of like, oh, this looks too much like this. This feels too much like that. I don't think that's a negative. I feel like it's a pretty massive positive. Yeah, but what did you guys pick up?
I'm excited for it. It does remind me a lot of Suicide Squad or like Guardians kind of mixed together. And every person I show the trailer to is just like, oh, is that them? But I think it's cool. And I just completely lost my train of thought. I don't know why. You guys started laughing and it threw me off.
Well, what you said was completely just. No, I'm just kidding. Did you guys get Invincible vibes?
Yeah, I
maybe
did
a
from the
little bit.
music.
Yeah.
From the music that he did, I got like the Invincible vibes. But I think it's gonna be cool to see animated characters go into live action as well. That's what I'm really excited for. Like Rick Flag, and technically, so the Dr. Phosphorus actor is going to be in Superman as well, but they said he's a separate character, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Gunn said that there are multiple people in this cast that are playing other characters down the line. So very curious to see which of the group are moving on to different roles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like this in Hunter to your point with this one. James Gunn did say that every project will have their own tone. Just there's some deeper thoughts that kind of came out about what's canon from the DCEU that'll be pulled into the DCU, especially when it comes to like Peacemaker. Like Economos is going to be in this. We obviously saw Waller is going to be very present, played by Viola Davis. So there will be a little bit of suspending of the disbelief aspect of things, I think, at first with this project specifically. But I think the cool thing about this is that it will soft launch the DCU in a way, but it'll give us a good idea of kind of the tone. And I think a big thing to help aid that was the amount of hype that was generated by seeing like Clayface in the trailer, where people are like, oh shoot, we know what kind of Batman we're getting. You saw like Dr. Phosphorus, the power sets, GI Robot, like just so many things kind of played into, okay, well, if this is carrying over in the DCU, like we're probably in for a treat because it's just going to satisfy a lot of asks and wants for a lot of fans for the DCU.
Yeah, I think even if Clayface wasn't in the trailer, we should have already expected a fantastical Batman, because if there's all these other monsters in it, then why wouldn't his own rogues gallery have some of those in it as well, like Man-Bat or Clayface or Killer Croc, like any of those.
Right. No, I agree. It looks good. It sounded good. I think it was a little more violent than I was expecting, but James Gunn did kind of describe Creature Commandos as kind of Guardians-like, but with the sentimentality toned down a little bit. The characters, as we can see, aren't perfect, but but the stories aren't perfect either. Some characters die, and it's not always for a purpose. Sometimes it's just tragic. So
Yeah.
I think it might be up there when it comes to animated shows that we've gotten, and may kind of set a new precedence to maybe push the MCU to be like, hey, that X-Men 97 series you got, like, it's time to pull some of that stuff into the MCU. So
I mean, they massacred an entire island in X-Men 97, so.
In what an episode. Oh my gosh. I just had so many thoughts when you said that. I think I'm going to watch it again.
I still can't believe like they did that. I've seen that episode like 5 times and I still get goosebumps every time.
Yeah, we talked about that for a long time here, actually. No, good stuff. Good stuff. Spider-Man, what do you got about James Gunn's comments on David Cornsweet?
He will blow people the bleep away. I want to say it, but I'm not going to say it.
It's all right. It's a kid show.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. There, you get to see it. I forgot to start it out in the banner. But I'm excited for that comment.
I read that in the Green Goblin voice when he's in the alley.
Me too.
Coward.
This comment gets me excited, though. Obviously, as the head of the company and director of this movie, you're gonna hype it up as best as you could. But I don't know, just hearing it on stage on like a panel for the first time, and just seeing all the recent set photos that we've been talking about, I'm so excited for this movie.
Yeah,
and I just want to see a trailer so bad.
Which they probably could have done to end the panel, but
that would have been.
I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad they didn't. They gave Creature Commandos their time. I really think kind of coming out of this, like that would have, I think that would have buried the show. Like that would have been DOA for sure.
Could they have done like when the Batman was starting to get its marketing going and they had that screen test with the suit showing in the red room kind of thing with the music? They could have done something like that with the Superman suit, but oh well. Well, they released the crypto image like earlier that week too.
Yeah,
so that led into, I guess, their tease for Comic-Con, because they did talk about that a little bit too.
Yeah, I mean, he did say it won't be too long, but it won't be too soon.
Yeah,
I'm still thinking Super Bowl. I think February.
Yeah, for sure.
Steal some steam away from Cat 4.
Right, take over all the steam from Cat 4.
Yeah, it means he doesn't smash.
Here's the other thing.
Smash.
Superman could have a trailer at the Super Bowl, but would they have a Fantastic Four one also to kind of compete with Superman's marketing at the same time?
I feel like Marvel would not let DC have a trailer on their own like broadcasting things. I think the Super Bowl's on ABC.
Is it really?
Whatever. I think it is.
Okay, well, we need to figure out when is the Super Bowl for this year, because if Cat 4 is coming out, Valentine's or the day after?
It's literally the weekend before Cap releases, I think.
There's no way they'd show. There might be a Fantastic Four teaser on socials or something, but the way that the MCU has handled the Fantastic Four to this point, one, I don't think that they're ready. Two, I don't think that they want to distract from a movie that needs a lot of help.
Or Kevin Feige's like, screw it, we'll go to war.
Now, would you guys accept a post-credit scene for the Fantastic Four in Cat 4?
Wouldn't make a lot of sense to me, but
that would be kind of
I don't know. They might do like a multiverse thing, where it's like not even related to Cap at all. It's just kind of teasing what's coming, but I don't really see that being the project to kind of tease Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I agree. Ooh, pull it up. There we
Who's
go.
getting paid to the air the ads though? ABC or the NFL?
Because it's hella money.
It is a lot
I'm
of
just
money.
saying, doesn't matter who it is. Look at how crazy
Deadpool.
Deadpool and Wolverine got.
Yeah, I was gonna say Deadpool and Wolverine got the trailer during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Post credit scene gonna be Superman.
Feige takes off his MCU or Marvel hat and puts on a DC hat.
No way.
That would be nuts. That would be crazy. That would be a bigger trade than like what was the big trade that happened?
When?
Belichick.
The last week?
What?
Over the last week? NFL's eating good. If you're an NFL fan, it's been nice.
Yeah.
Maybe not so
Yeah.
good for fantasy, but
DeAndre
well,
Hopkins, the Chiefs.
I had Lamar as my QB1, so he did pretty good the other night.
that's fair. That's fair. I do have him on a team as well, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to win this week. And I look back and I was like, I won this week.
Dude, I had a
34
team. I
points.
had 2 teams with Jahmyr Gibbs get 32 points, and I lost both of them.
Who'd you lose to? Did you lose to me in one?
I did lose to you this week, and I'm upset.
We're 1-1
My
though.
team-
To be fair, we're 1-1. You
I
beat
beat
me
you
though.
last week in the other
Yeah.
league. So.
Yeah. 30-minute
football
trailer,
around
Hunter.
here.
That's like a mini movie, man.
30-minute trailer. Ooh,
I love that. I
take
love
that
that.
for like.
You know what it'll be? It'll be a compilation of all those AI trailers that people are putting out.
Dude, I went down a rabbit hole. So my wife's reading a book series, and there's like no movie adaptation. There's no show. I don't know how that's possible, but it is. And people are like making AI trailers for the movie and using like legit voiceover actors are reading the
Yeah.
book, and it's like their own little movie and stuff that they're posting on YouTube and TikTok, and it's just
And they're getting hundreds of thousands of views too. It's insane.
yeah. That's fantastic. Not to be confused with the Fantastic Four, which good luck to you in 2025. However, we're gonna go back to this. I think Hunter, you had a question on it. James Gunn on DCU. Every project of DC Studios will be its own thing. Everything is going tremendously well. Superman, Supergirl, Lanterns, they are a part of the cinematic universe, but every one of those will be very different aesthetically. Gents, how do we feel about that comment? Nate, I'll throw it to you first.
I think that's a good thing. That's what makes the, I guess, universe feel rich. It's got a lot of different corners to it. Obviously with Lanterns, it'll have its more grounded kind of approach, like the True Detective kind of inspired storyline, and then Superman's going to be a bit more lighthearted. Supergirl, I could expect to be, I guess, lighthearted in a sense, and then obviously when they go like further down the line with other projects like Swamp Thing, that'll be a really dark one. Paradise Lost could be dark in a way if they lean in on the like dark mythology side of it.
Yeah.
But I think that's what makes that universe appealing to a lot of people, having different kinds of kind of aesthetics to it instead of just a copy paste over the same kind of thing for each project. So I'm excited to see what kind of other genres they might tap into in the future.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Minty, to kind of echo what you're saying too, it does feel like that's what the MCU wanted to do, right? I think we all kind of saw their attempts, albeit a little bit slower post-COVID, and obviously with the strikes.
Yeah.
But I definitely trust Gunn to deliver kind of project-specific movies that feel they're their own and can carry their weight for whatever year or quarter or season they drop.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's going to be follow-up, which adds to that connected piece. I mean, right around Deadpool and Wolverine, but Sean Levy and then I think James Gunn came out and said like, hey, for those fans, like you don't have to do homework for these projects. You can enjoy them as standalone. However, for those that are following along and all that kind of good stuff, there's going to be a payoff for you because you'll have that extra background. And I think the most evident thing with that, not so much Deadpool and Wolverine, in my opinion, but Penguin.
Yeah.
If you didn't watch the Batman, I don't think that this hurts the Penguin at all. And you could walk out of that, weekly and just say, And this is probably one of the best shows I've seen in 2024.
Definitely. Yeah. Because like I guess it's not really a spoiler at this point, but there's no really like clear mention of Batman in this series at all. So you could just go into it as if it's a city getting cleaned up, natural disaster, and then, you know, there's a city trying to clean up from it, and there's a power struggle with it, and it feels like its own thing. And obviously it'll tie into the Batman part 2, but if you didn't see the Batman, like you said, you could easily go into this and be like, okay, this is still a really good story.
Yeah, I agree. Spider Brando, thoughts on the comments, thoughts on Minty's comment.
I love it. I feel like it's what the MCU has kind of been trying to do as well recently.
But do you trust them more? I'm just kidding.
Yes. I was agreeing with it.
I know.
But also, I don't know. I keep on losing my train of thoughts tonight. I don't know why.
Dude,
I do not know why.
It's all right, man. It's all right. It just admit it. You don't like the DCU. It's fine.
I love it, dude. I'm excited about the DCU. I am very excited about the DCU.
It's all right.
I started reading a Superman comic the other day.
We're hyping Minty up in the chat. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
True.
That's all. Anything else with DC?
There was the Supergirl lanterns are going well.
Dude.
Know. Did we miss that?
No, we touched on that. Can you pull up the the Batmobile from the Absolute Batman?
Oh yes.
Oh, that's
yes.
crazy.
If you guys haven't seen this, it is epic. It is epic and amazing.
I just want to know how fast it goes.
This is amazing.
Like, you are crushed if that's like within 20 feet from you.
Dude,
like,
the DC, this Absolute Batman is cooking so hard.
I love the cape. Like, is that a legit cape on the back?
Yeah, right. It looks like one.
I was wondering if, like, what does that do? Like, is that just there to kind of say, yeah, this is Batman's bulldozer, or is it?
It's the best thing about it. I love it.
Where does he put it though? Like, where does it come from? Like, he can't just hide it in an alley and like a bad guy's walking by and he turns the headlights on. It doesn't fly with that.
We're gonna need a car. I brought mine. Just the bulldozer.
Get in. I need a ladder, but all right. Sounds good.
Boy, I gotta get me one of those.
Yeah. No, Absolute Universe is fantastic and cooking. For those that are departed from the main universes for both Marvel and DC, it's a good time. It's a good time. But dude, did anyone ever play Twisted Metal on PlayStation?
A little bit, yeah.
This reminds me of a Twisted Metal vehicle. Just throwing napalm off the back of it. Nuts.
Like, wow. You see that cop standing in front of it? He's dead.
Yeah.
He's done.
Oh, 100%.
You see the size of that tire? That's like 10 of him stacked on top.
You know what, though? This Absolute Batman doesn't kill. He's just brutal, vicious, and violent. But he's like, send me your hospital bill.
I'll chop a guy's hand off, but I won't, kill him.
You don't need the right, but you can breathe. Well, maybe not even breathe. I don't know.
You could bleed out from that.
Yeah, you could, but it's not. Whatever happens afterwards happens after. It's someone else's problem.
Dude, Jason Todd would need a crane.
That could be like episode 1 of Penguin, where like they're trying to steal the tires or whatever, like jack up his Maserati, which you have like the bat parked behind the club. Just like, yeah,
easy.
Could you imagine though, like Jason Todd and a crane, and Batman just sees the giant arm going towards the bulldozer? Say, dude, what are you doing? I can clearly see you're trying to take my tire off right now, dude.
My 3-story tire.
Exactly.
What are you gonna do once you get it off?
Exactly.
Good times. Good
It'll
times.
roll
good
down
times.
the street like the nuke in Fast and the Furious.
Yep. Yep.
Oh,
100%.
yeah.
100%. 100%. Love it. But real quick, before we get into some Marvel news and our deep dive for this live stream, gentlemen, I want a quick DCU fan cast. I'm going to give you an actor's name. Let me know who you think they might be. Spider-Brain, I'll kick it to you first. Mahershala Ali.
I saw a crazy one the other day.
I definitely saw a good one.
Martian Manhunter.
Is that your top?
Yeah, that would be my top.
Okay. Nate?
You guys ready for this?
Yeah, you're hyping this before
Ready.
in the studio, so I'm ready.
So, Martian Manhunter would be cool, but if DC wanted to do like a big like middle finger to Marvel, make him John Constantine.
Dang.
I think he'd be a great John Constantine.
Ooh,
I mean, I like that.
that
There'll be
would be
some
very
natural internet gripes, but I do like that, and that could definitely
I
tie
do
in
like
with
that a lot.
where they're going with that darker route.
Yeah.
Give him the like glasses and everything though. Same haircut. Just that.
Just make him look like Blade,
Yeah,
but he's
Make him look like
Constantine.
Blade, but he has like the trench coat, the white shirt, the black tie. But he's still like, yeah, give him all that. Give him all that. I like that though. I like both of those.
Do you have one?
Oh, Black Lightning.
Black Lightning.
That'd be pretty cool.
Oh, yeah,
That'd be pretty
that would
cool.
be sick. That would
Black
be
Lightning
fun.
just got a new fit too.
Static Shock. Nah, I can't see him a shot.
He's a teenager though, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
it
right.
just
you're
has to be an
right, you're right.
old seasoned one.
He is confirmed to be coming to the DCU, right?
I
Static Shock? I think so.
thought that there was word on that. Where he'll fit in, I don't know. Jury will be out on that. I like that though. But everyone, if you didn't know, the MCU Blade movie has gone through it. It was announced. It's had different writers. It's had different stories. It's had different directors, and nothing will stick. Absolutely nothing will stick. And we just recently got news that Blade is on hold indefinitely. Once again, yes, we are going to echo this. I think we're all in agreement. A moment of silence for the movie that should take the MCU by storm. Guys, I got to say, the only saving grace, and this is where I'm like, maybe leak culture isn't terrible, but it's terrible. Just kidding. Apparently, there's an expedited Midnight Suns push going on behind the scenes in Marvel, and they're looking for a director and potentially trying to move up that movie in the timeline, whatever that means. If that's the case, and they put the movie of Blade on hold, and they're going to introduce Blade in the Midnight Suns movie, I would be okay with that. Team up instead of a solo film. I'll take what I can get. I'd prefer a focus, but if he's in the movie and we get a Midnight Suns within the next decade, I'll be happy.
I second that as well.
I'd be okay with that, but sorry, go ahead.
It just gives more opportunity to introduce more characters that all share these elements. Of like the supernatural stuff. Sorry, forgot to add that.
I'd be okay with it. I think one of the issues behind Blade is that they were trying to make it a Midnight Suns movie secretly. Like have him obviously be the main character, but try to set it up or either actually bring the team into it in the end. But yeah, I'd be happy if we get Midnight Suns like sooner than later, and maybe still have him a part of that. Whether that's on their list of priorities at this moment, I guess that's kind of unknown because they're going with Doomsday Secret Wars, so the whole supernatural thing doesn't really seem to fit with what they're currently doing. But I could see them maybe after Secret Wars, maybe they start to put more attention on this and, you know, extend Mahershala Ali's contract in some way and say, hey, we'll give you like 6-picture deal and we promise we'll actually make it this time.
I mean, listen, I think that there's a world where he should have, or at least could have, shown up in another movie. I mean, I think we can all agree the post-credit of the Eternals is kind of out of left field in a lot of ways. We're like, okay. But then you have like, because I agree, I think the whole thought of like the road to Secret Wars is obviously big, but the worlds that is pretty supernatural, where a Blade would really thrive, obviously. It's not really fleshed out too well, but then you have a Moon Knight, which I thought was really successful. You have Agatha, which is whatever. You have, Strange in the next movie that's coming out, and whatever, if it's called Dark Dimensions, I don't know. But I think there's a world where Blade can show up in Captain America, and you're like, listen, like if you really want to talk about protecting America and blah 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 blah, like, hey man, it's not all about like foot soldiers and this kind of stuff. Like, Cap, leader of the Avengers, did you know that this stuff is going on? And like, we as the fans travel to that underground type storyline through the eyes of the new Cap, who's holding up that mantle and really understanding like what are all the threats. It's not just the Red Hulk and the president of this, blah 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 blah. It's like, oh, by the way, vampires exist. Mobius knew it. Other characters know it. People in Agatha probably know it. We got witches, but then he's like, no. Like that's too out there for me. I don't think so. I hope we get Blade, and for a big reason, Minty saying. Like, we just saw Deadpool Wolverine. I'm sorry. Like, it's right there.
There's going to be one Blade, man. It's only been one Blade, and there's only ever going to be one Blade.
Does anyone know if there's like legit behind the scenes where like he's reading that line and he's like, "Y'all ain't never gonna make a Blade. Like, you're never gonna make another Blade." I'm just kidding. Maybe it was like ad-libbed.
When they released assembled the making of Deadpool and Wolverine, I hope there's a clip in that.
Watch that. Or even like did like the digital release come with any bonus footage or?
I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
Not 100%.
Oh, speaking of Deadpool, though, did you see the set photo of Ryan Reynolds with Leslie Uggams on like a Christmas kind of decorated set?
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds did his trolling abilities on the internet are just unrivaled. But I think he posted something where he's like, "Oh, it's Deadpool 4" or something along those lines. I saw that comment.
I'd love it to be a Deadpool Christmas holiday special.
Yes. Yeah.
We need that.
Oh, that would be amazing. Like the Guardians, how? Oh yeah, sign
like
me up.
Him in front of the fireplace with the storybook. Kids, gather around the fire.
Yes.
It's time to tell a story. Yes. That kind of thing.
Yes. I would be all for that.
Is that how we get a Deadpool Spider-Man crossover holiday special?
I mean, No Way Home ended on Christmas, so.
Exactly. What if it's just like Deadpool running into Andrew Garfield Spider-Man somehow on the street?
Just on the street?
Yeah, like, Christmas time. Like, you're not supposed to be from this multiverse. Neither are you. And they just start chatting, go to the Rockefeller Center, see the tree.
I'm just doing normal Christmas stuff.
Dude, I would sell all my Funkos to see that.
Could they 100%. Do like an hour recreation of like Elf, but just with Deadpool?
That would be a hit.
You got to bring back Peter Dinklage. Like, everyone comes. Like, everyone has to come back.
James Caan, even though he's dead.
Minty, it's all
they do
about
Hugh
man.
Jackman for
It's
that.
all 100%. Why wouldn't you want to see that? It's either that or what? What's the next project after this?
After
Agatha? Is it Cap?
is it Cap?
Boom, looking for the no.
Oh.
I
Oh,
forgot.
no, 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 no,
I
no.
forgot. Cap's
It is
March.
Cap.
No,
It
okay,
is
January,
Cap.
March, February, May. All right, well, pull it up. Let's talk about it. We got to get to it. We got to get some positivity here.
We got Daredevil Born Again, baby. Oh, I'm so excited. It's just been like, what, 6 years since season 3 came out on Netflix, which is wild to think about.
Yeah.
When
Oh, yeah.
I saw that tweet the other day, and I can't believe it's been 6 years. I feel like that came out like... Honestly, it feels longer than 6 years, to be honest, which is the weird part about it.
I watch the show annually, so it's pretty fresh. Like I ran through all 3
You watched
seasons
it
before
recently,
Echo.
yeah.
I did it before Hawkeye.
That's nuts. I can't. I tried rewatching it. It's just so hard for me to commit to binge hour-long episodes at least. And then
bro.
It's so good.
I don't know.
It's my favorite show of all time. So it's like
Yeah.
It's a great
I
show.
can watch that any day.
Don't get me wrong. Like
I
genuinely loved it.
It's definitely a top 2 Marvel period project for me. Just across all.
For sure.
Ooh. I could rewatch the rooftop Daredevil Punisher dialogue scene over
That
and
is
over
John
and over
Bernthal's
and
best
over and
performance.
over again, though. That's one of my favorite. That's a core scene for me. I did a philosophy project in high school based off of that scene, and it was like the first time getting to put like a pop culture thing into like a school project, and I loved every second of it.
Now I don't know. I mean, I'll put it this way. I think this is the one show that they might have given more liberties to than some other Disney Plus shows, just given its nature. And I think, well, I don't think like having Vincent D'Onofrio a part of it really means much anymore after the performance in Hawkeye and Echo and just kind of the Kingpin character. I'm like, we got flashes of it, but I think that they know what they have with this one for sure.
He said himself, though, that he's surprised that they let them do some violent things, like even more like past the line than the Netflix show. So I think like the true Fisk is back. Like he's not going to be holding anything back in this show.
I'll buy that. I'll definitely buy that.
Reworking of the show really
Oh,
saved
for
it.
sure. For sure.
100%. They've realized that like the people are gonna hate this.
Yeah. But the trailer.
Did you guys see the suit? I haven't seen that trailer yet.
You haven't?
I saw it when it leaked for D23. It's the same trailer.
Actually,
yeah.
Then I have seen it. I saw they had the
looks
official
sick.
look at the suit though, which is cool.
I love that they have the helmet.
DD's here. No DD though.
Season 2.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
The one thing I really want to I'm really curious to see is Muse, because that graffiti art behind them is really teasing that Muse has a clear presence in this season, and he looks terrifying. So I'm very excited to see him.
Yeah, I think we'll get. I last thing I'll say on this, I'm very interested to see how they're going to portray kind of Daredevil justice in this show, between what Matt Murdock wants, how Muse views things, how Kingpin views things, how Punisher is going to view things, Bullseye, Karen, Foggy, White Tiger. I don't think is going to make it out of the show.
No.
But I don't know. I'll put it this way. I hope that this will do enough, and there's enough positive fan reaction that they take the street portion of the multiversal aspect of the MCU and kind of give it its own. Because I think there's so much opportunity that just is left on the table right now. It's just disgusting.
I want them to do Devil's Reign. They have to do Devil's Reign. I love that story.
How close to source do you think the MCU can keep it?
I think they'll get as far as just I think street level heroes for like at first maybe. I could see him using the Thunderbolts
Mhm.
because they're definitely a more like not all of them are grounded, but there are a clear number of them that are grounded and could be his task force and all that. Um, I'd say maybe 70 to 75% accurate to the comic.
Well, I mean, if they are, we're just looking at potentially one of the greatest stories that are mostly adapted. Yeah, I'm all for that. I'm all for that. If they tie in, I really have high hopes for. I have weird hopes for Thunderbolts, Craven, and I think expected hopes for Born Again, but should be good. Should be good. As we get closer, definitely check back to the channel because we will be talking a lot about the comics and the series leading up to March 5th. But now let's get into some other quick things. I think Spider Brando, you have the image in our background, but that Marvel sign showed us some pretty cool things, mainly Herbie from the Fantastic Four. There you go.
Looks really good.
A good look. Holding Cap shield. Just kidding.
What timeline is
everyone.
this? Looks cool. Do we know who the voice actor of Herbie is yet?
Not confirmed.
No. Well, I think there was. We'd have to go back and look. There are rumors.
They've got three choices. There's Natasha Lyonne, who I think is playing Alicia, but she could be Herbie. You've got John Malkovich, and you've got Paul Walter Hauser.
I think that was the one.
I think that's who we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I think that might be the one.
Yeah.
Perfect punting size.
Cool.
Jeez. Leave Herbie alone.
Do we have perfect punch?
Herbie's going to smash it.
Honestly, did we just have a Professor X thing again?
Dude, I don't know. We were on fire last week.
You gotta say Clank.
I was gonna say I totally was. Wow. I swear, 100%. Wow.
This one's for Hero.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it.
But... Nate, I don't think it was in like our general Discord.
No,
but I think it might have been in our. Well, we were prepping for some things, but it was like, ooh, we were like, I think it was like 10:55, and we both posted like literally the same comment at the same time, randomly after we didn't talk to each other for like 12 hours. I don't know.
We posted the same news link at the same time.
It was good.
And then posted the same question to each other and answer to each other, essentially.
Yeah.
Like right after another.
Dude, I think our Twitter feeds are just like syncing.
Dude, they're in cycle together.
Yeah. I think you might be sharing the same brain.
Yo, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. Do we have an image of the suit for Fantastic Four for Johnny?
Yeah. Oh.
Well, no. Yeah, we can use those. We can use these.
I got this. I could pull up a Johnny suit pretty quick.
Well, I wanted to compare these because I think what we're looking at here, hopefully, is the suits that they're in when they get their powers, if it's however they portray that.
It's either that or maybe they're going to space for something Galactus related.
Is there a full photo? Nope.
They've already got the logo on the suit, so
yeah,
I guess it's and like it's them established, I think.
It depends, because I think in Life Story, they're the fourth team to go, and it just happens to be like that version 4. I don't know if they're going to play that up or not. I think that'd be kind of cool, but if they I don't know what the origins of their team name is going to be, but
it's fantastic. Say it again.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Yeah. But no, love to see Johnny or the Thing punting Herbie. Just want to throw that out there. All right, Spider Brando, let's get into some Spider-Man news.
Wait, I gotta show the people this comparison. I was sold. I'm trying to find this picture. Oh Boom.
We like it. Love it.
Versus that. Suit wise.
I like the blues. I'm digging the blues.
Yeah.
Blues look great.
Yeah. Big fan.
I love the white collar blending into the arm too. It's like very, very classic.
Yeah. Big fan of that. Big fan. But Tom Holland, he's been chirping a little bit.
Tom has been chirping. He's been chirping a lot. First off, this is from a little older, but he did chirp about a little bit last week. Wants a Miles in the MCU, and that he'd love to do for a young kid what Robert Downey Jr. did for him. And personally, I think that would be great introduction in like Spider-Man 5 or 6 to throw Miles in there. And kind of let him take over as the Spider-Man of the Ultimate Universe, aka rebooted universe post Secret Wars. Just like the comics. That would be pretty cool.
Okay.
There was that. And he also said Spider-Man's 4 script needs some work, but was excited and jumping up and down with Zendaya when they read it. And also recently said that it's crazy. And that everybody's going to be super excited from it. So, a lot from... Okay, here's the full quote. It's a little different to anything we've done before, but I think the fans are going to really respond to it. So that's interesting.
Sony won.
Sony did win, unfortunately.
Oh, Sony for sure won. That's like
they did one of these things. Okay, Spider-Man here, you can have him, but you have to do what we say.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to do that? Okay, we'll take him away. Oh, you want him back? Okay, now you have to do this.
Guaranteed.
That's basically what happened. And
Guaranteed.
then Amy Pascal threw a sandwich at Feige.
She'll talk about it in the podcast next year, the year after, and just be like, Kevin, never mind. I'm not even going to say anything on it. But here's where I get caught up of saying we're doing something different, and it's like, okay, Sony definitely has like their entire body in the pot now, and we know who the director is, right? Daniel Cretton. What's his
Daniel Cretton.
Destin Daniel Cretton. There you go. Yeah. I think we're hoping for a little more action from that perspective. Could be a little more high flying in a lot of ways, but I don't know how different they could be to make me be like, oh, I never expected this. But then again, you only know what you know. I'm curious what you guys think that might be. Or at least what could they do to make it feel fresh, new, and different for an MCU Tom Holland Spider-Man?
The thing that comes to mind for me that's fresh and new is Grounded, which I don't think they're going to do, but it has to be symbiote related. So it is coming out after Doomsday. So if Doomsday ends in a way where Battle World is created or something like that, then I could see it taking place in a completely different environment from New York. Could be something that Tom thinks is a different aspect to it. Could be the villains he's going against. Could be some of the characters that are in it. Maybe Doctor Doom's a part of it. But yeah, like you said, we know nothing until we see that first trailer.
Yeah, Spider-Beezy.
I was gonna say I would kind of keeping it grounded too. I would love to see more just swinging scenes of Tom. Something we have greatly lacked, especially when you go and rewatch The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. The cinematography in those is just amazing. But yeah, just so the movies could be more grounded, but not like in a swinging grounded way.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see everyday Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Friendly multiversal Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Listen, the only thing I can think of, I think this goes back to like when we first talked about here on the channel, what kind of Tom do we want in a Spider-Man 4 and moving forward? And the only thing in my mind that like makes me feel like an actor would be excited is if they get to play like the opposite of the type of character they've always played, which in this case I think would be a darker Spider-Man. And from that perspective, I think we get a little more symbiote throughout more of a Spider-Man 4 in ways, to where Tom really gets to kind of stretch his legs, and this is the end of him and Zendaya's relationship because he pissed her off on screen because he's like, method acting, and like he takes it home with him, and he's just like the worst person. I know.
The
This
whole
is the
Jonathan
downfall.
Major situation.
For sure. And then we get our recasted Spider-Man as Timothy Chalamet, but whatever.
Oh, no way.
Multiverse.
And then it's Paul Atreides and then Johnny from
Charlie
Lisa on the Owl Spider-Man.
Lisa Nalgaib.
Yeah.
Want a chocolate bar with that?
But I would just say I think a darker, again, we've kind of touched on it, but I'm still sticking to a darker Tom. It would still feel good if it's multiversal, because multiverse means Sony is going to be like, hey, take Andrew, take Toby again. And it plays off the last movie of like, maybe one of them gets killed because of the Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like just some of those things where it's like people are going to be like, do I not like Spider? Like, I hate you. Like if you get people feeling like that, I think you're doing something completely fresh and different to make you jump up and down in a room, maybe.
Null kills Toby and Andrew.
Damn.
Okay. Let's do it. Let's hold on. We'll table that for a second. Oh yeah, Harry would be a good one. But let's talk about Venom 3 for a second, get into a mini deep dive, and then we can kind of touch back on Nolan Spider-Man. Venom 3 is releasing this week, for those of you that don't know. It's on track for a $70 million opening weekend, which, yeah, well, I don't know. We'll throw our predictions because we always got some. But let's talk about it for a second. What are your guys' rating predictions? What do you want from this movie? What are you expecting from the post-credit scenes? Again, at the time of this recording, if you're watching it after the live drops, we don't know anything for the post-credit scenes between the three of us. We talked about it beforehand to like just kind of get a lay of the land, and we are still in the dark. So believe it or not, this is a very genuine preview of the movie from our three perspectives. But Nate from Thwip Media, we are going to kick it to you first. What are you thinking here? What are your expectations? What are you going to rate this movie going into it?
I'm going to be honest. I don't plan on seeing this in the theater because I did not enjoy the second one. I thought it was horrible. And based off the reactions we've got so far, they're saying if you enjoyed the first two, you're going to have fun with this one. It's not good in any way, but you're going to have fun with it. But if you don't like the first two, it's going to be more or less the exact same. So know that when you're going into this one, you're going to be getting more or less the same kind of thing. So yeah, I'm gonna wait for the spoilers to go online. I'll see what the post-credit scenes are. I'll maybe catch it once it gets on VOD and see what it's like at that point. But I'm not gonna spend $50 at the movie theater to see it because it's just that expensive to go out now. And
for an hour and a half.
Yeah, I'm putting my money towards Gladiator 2. So yeah. I expect to probably not enjoy this one if I do end up seeing it. What I want from it, I want it to
not suck,
to show ideally, but we know that's not the case. I want it to show that Sony literally has no capability in keeping the rights to the Spider-Man IP. Just hand it to Disney.
Please, please,
But
please.
yes, like,
Or me, hand me the keys.
if this doesn't do it, then Craven is the biggest deciding factor, I think, for that. And as far as post-credit scenes go, I think it's just Null sitting in the chair looking down with his hair, and that's it, because that's all we're going to see of him, I think, in this movie.
That's fair.
From what we saw already is all we're going to see.
Yep.
It's pain.
5 seconds of him.
So much pain.
Yeah. Spider-Man.
I said this in the disc. Oh, sorry.
No. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, in the Discord, I think I joked that the post-credit scene is just going to be a 5-minute, like, moving slowly in on him, like at the end in the chair. It's just going to be 5 minutes. And when it gets to 4:55, it's going to be him, like, looking up, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Roll
that
credit.
was a hilarious convo we had. Oh my god.
That was a long conversation.
Dude, I remember you came up with the it's Nolan time as well.
Oh yeah, I
I'm gonna know this myself.
Fine, I'll know it myself.
Dude, if we get a post-credit scene of Nolan and it's just like I'll know it myself or
I'll
some
see if I can find
Thanos type thing. Oh, I won't be that mad about it, but I will be very mad about it. This movie's just freaking, I don't know. I'm seeing it on Friday at 9:15 in Dolby, so I'm honestly just seeing it just so I could say I saw it and can make content off of it.
There it is.
To be honest. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Let's show this puppy off. Hold on. Gotta get that out of here. You know, this is gonna be the post-credit scene. And we're cooking for what Noel's master plan is to take over every multiverse in existence. I love it.
I can't get down with this movie. I'll be honest with you. I want to see it simply because #Minty. Where'd you go? Like, I don't necessarily want to hate on it, but I do want to be able to critique it because
that's exactly how I felt with Madam Web. That comment is exactly how I felt with Madam Web and Joker 2. I wanted to see it just because so I could shit on them. And I did. Go watch my Madam Web review. That video scoffed, but I loved
it. The hard part is it just very much feels like this movie is going to just spill over into the MCU. And for that reason, it makes me want to see it sooner rather than later. Madam Web, I didn't see in theaters. I waited until it hit Netflix, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, did they really just, like, poorly dub their own movie or something? Like, that was insane. I don't think this is going to be that egregious, but, like, I don't love Tom Hardy as Venom. I don't love Venom, the Sony Venomverse, whatever you want to call it. Like, it's just, I gave it a chance for 2, and 2 is sweet because of the kind of like tie-in. You're like, oh shoot, crossover with Spider-Man, here we go. And then that didn't happen, and then they confused us with trailer 1 of like, wow, they're in the MCU, and it's like, wait, no, they're back in their universe, and it's like, why would you do that? That's such a terrible tease. Yeah. And then enter this last month where everyone's like, no, and blah, 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 blah. And we're just like, no, that's a terrible idea because it's such a huge character and we don't want Sony to put any fingerprints on that whatsoever. I don't know. So what I want from this is absolutely no null at all so that we don't.
Oh, wait.
What?
The director says Venom The Last Dance is just the beginning of Noel's on-screen story. How could you want this to be the last thing of Noel?
We got fooled by Joker 2. All right. So I don't believe you, Kelly. I don't believe you at all. All right. Yeah, of course, Noel is too big for a one and done, but RDJ didn't come back to the MCU to share in the universe with Noel. So
Venom's gonna shank Null in the hall and then carve a smile into his face.
Jeez. Or that's how he gets the dragon on his chest. It's just carved.
Oh yeah, he carves
Yeah,
the spider symbol.
yeah. That's what happens. Here's my thought. Here's my one thought.
Yo,
I agree. Post.
he clicked the wrong one. Dude,
Oh, no way. I
will cry so
The
hard.
streets will be on fire.
We'll get in.
You would riot yourself in those streets with that.
Just one. They're just like, man, everyone's upset. And we see just Nate walking down the street. It's an army, and it's like, nope, just Nate.
I will have pitchforks. I will have torches. I'll douse the entire street in gas, and then just drop the match.
There you go. Yeah. We'll get to some Doom. But just to quickly wrap up some Null talk, there are rumors, right? And I want to ask you guys, buy or sell. Null could potentially be the villain for Marvel Studios Spider-Man 4. I think that's still sitting out there and floating in the universe. But Nate, are you buying this rumor, or are you going to sell it?
I think I'm mostly leaning to sell, because if Sony is saying he's a big deal and he definitely has a future, then I don't think they'll maybe bring him into this right away. They may tease him. I could definitely see them doing that. Maybe have a different symbiote villain, even though the options aren't that vast at this point, because Carnage is dead. All the other symbiotes, like we had Riot. I think is it Toxin's going to be in The Last Dance. A couple others. I don't know. Like, if it is a symbiote-centered story, he could be in it, but I don't see him being like the main villain, because again, it's Spider-Man 4. He's not going to be able to take him out on his own. So maybe they'll do like a bigger Sony-centered event down the line with Null. But yeah, for Spider-Man 4, I'm going to say they'll tease him, but I don't think he'll be the main villain.
I'm going to sell it as well. It just feels too soon. I mean, I know they're like just starting with the filming and production for Spider-Man 4, but it just feels too soon to kind of have Null get thrown into here. And there's no way they planned it there's no way they planned it like that and just threw all their eggs in the basket. That's like, oh yeah, we're gonna put Null in Venom 3 and then hope to win the battle with Marvel so that it pays off into like adding him into Spider-Man 4. So I could see like 5 or 6, if that. I don't know. I feel like I can't even see him in 5 or 6. I don't even know what's gonna happen in Spider-Man 5 or 6, or when those movies are gonna come out between like Doomsday, Secret Wars, and all that. So that's a whole nother gray area to cover. It just feels so weird to introduce Null at this time. Given the current track record of MCU and Sony, it seems possible and likely, given the inclusion of Null and Venom. Yeah. But it was stupid.
Yeah.
Listen, I really, really, really think that there is a world where in Spider-Man 4, if Tom does have the symbiote for an extended period of time, or if Andrew or Toby get a symbiote or whatever it might be, I very well could see them like having visions of Null, referencing Null, understanding Null from the the symbiote perspective, and whatever dialogue. Yeah, that hive mind piece.
I could see that.
I don't know how they're going to do it. I'm assuming that they'll do some hive mind centric things. If that carries over, I'm not sure. But then again, I could also see there being a version of Tom Hardy's Venom from another universe coming into Spider-Man 4 as well. And again, kind of focusing on that hive mind. It's going to connect, and it's going to be their simple explanation for it. Anyone can be in this movie if it's, symbiote heavy, just because of that shared mind. I do still like the thought that Null could be wanting to track down every piece of the symbiote that's scattered across the multiverse in a way. I think it's a stretch, but if there has to be a reason, I don't think it's terrible. But but again, he wouldn't be the main villain for me. That would be like a down the road. I still don't feel the centric character for Null should be Spider-Man, period. It should be Eddie Brock, but um, I think if you do Null, I think that there is again a world where they introduce. I think that they could easily reintroduce and reboot the Venom verse in Sony by including new versions of these characters, and then they pull the Null storyline, bring your Carnage back, get a proper Eddie back, get someone who's close, and that version of Venom knows who Spider-Man is, and then you easily could pull back, a Spider-Man into Sony. So yeah,
I also I don't know what Destin Daniel Cretton's likes and dislikes are, but like I don't know if he'd want to do Spider-Man 4 if it was going to be that kind of
we are
thing.
on the same wavelength. I was legit just going to bring that off right now
Are you
too.
serious?
I swear to God, I've been waiting to bring up about how I don't think he'd sign on for a Null film.
Yeah, like I think he with Shang-Chi, he proved he can do the really grounded grittiness of the MCU, and I think that's what he wants to do. And obviously he was attached to do Kang Dynasty, so he has had some, I guess, ambition to do multiversal stories, but as far as Null goes, I think personally he's going to be like, okay, pump the brakes. Like, sure, we can get to it, but I don't want to do that right now.
It's crazy stuff. Pains me. At least though, the one good thing about Null that we haven't mentioned yet, Andy Serkis is playing him.
Yeah,
And
and he sounds great.
That cooks a lot. I can't lie.
Bro, this guy can't play his character for the next decade.
No, but
I don't think he. I think that's a recast in the waiting.
Really?
Yeah, I don't. Because again, where does the Null storyline really come in? I mean, obviously we don't know, but probably not going to be in the next 3 to 4 years. 5 years from now, they're like, hey, you actually need to play more relevant of a role. Are you even available to do this? We don't know, but there's a chance that I think that's going to be like a Thanos type of thing where it's like, here's version A and here's our thought and vision. But when we really get down to it, I think that might be grounds for recasting. Do I want Andy Serkis? 100%.
So unnecessary. That's just another reason why they unnecessarily added. I can't say the word. Unnecessarily added him to Venom 3. There.
His inclusion does not make me want to see Venom 3 anymore. I'll put it that way. Love me some Andy Serkis, but then
he saw the fan reception to Venom 2 and he said, fine, I'll null it myself.
I don't even think Andy Serkis could save this movie, unfortunately.
They promised him the bag. All right. Well, Spider-Man, I think you had one question. This will lead us into kind of our next piece. If Null is in Venom 4, would he be in Doomsday and or Secret Wars?
I pray no. I hope he is not. This is Doom's time to shine. Make it just Doom. You don't need 2 giant multiversal villains. Just kick Null to the curb for now. Let Doom have his time, because if it's called Doomsday, it has to be Doom. If it's Secret Wars, it has to be Doom. I don't see Null playing any kind of role in those events. Just piss off. Let Doom finish, and then Null can have his turn.
Yeah,
I like that.
I agree.
I have a proposition for you, Nate. Though.
Okay.
What? So I was casually, after some rumors of Thanos coming back for these movies as well, because of RDJ being seen with, and Feige and Russo, so a bunch of people being seen with Brolin recently.
Peter Dinklage.
Was he there too?
He's
don't
been
know.
with them recently because they had that Amazon movie together. So
Oh, yeah, you're right. But anyways, my point was I saw with that panel and a couple commenters on Twitter had posted panels of Doom just absolutely God Emperor Doom just absolutely bodying Thanos and disintegrating him.
ripping his spine out.
Yeah, exactly. I think it would be cool just if they bring Noel into Spider-Man 4 as much as we don't want it, just to make him be like, oh, like he's such a big threat, and then we see him in Secret Wars and Doom just does that to Noel. I think that would be pretty badass.
Dude,
that would be pretty badass.
Guy,
I will stand up and cheer if that happens.
I would legitimately be angry. Like,
really?
If he did that to Noel?
It's Doctor Doom.
No, I know. But they need to never ever cross paths ever.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Let Doom have his time, and then
I'm with
Noel
you.
can come into it.
I'm with you, but I hope like Thanos by this point has just been used by the MCU period just way too much. Like I think people forget we've gotten the variant story at the end of phase 3. Like I know it's a time variant, but they did that. And then he comes back and he gets wiped again in What If, and they're just like, does Thanos feel like as big of a threat? I don't know.
What the heck is this? Doctor Doom and Null are gonna freak off. Jeez.
Wait, what do you say? Oh, we're gonna freak off.
No way.
Someone on the internet will do it.
A twerk off.
Someone will do it. Yeah. But. Oh yeah,
man.
That's your boy Andy Serkis doing it. So I mean, it just
and Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, and Robert Downey Jr. So
Galactus gets involved in the fucking multiverse, starts shaking.
Bro, you look up and it's just like the sun, the clouds, and just giant cheeks slowly.
Seeing the movie front row in IMAX, just looking up.
But it pops in just like in the Celestial and Eternals, just like moves all the clouds, just like zoom. People in the park are like, "What's that?" Look away. Oh my gosh!
No,
that's like some Rick and Morty stuff right there. It's straight out of Rick and Morty.
That would be hilarious.
But let's jump quickly into some Doomsday Secret War rumors. Just the fate of the multiverse.
It was more freaky.
That's good. That's good. I love it.
I need to put a little timer on this guy.
Yeah, you gotta coin that, Minty, because if Feige ever watches this, he's like, I got a great idea. Slides it across Iger's desk.
Man,
no. Let's do it.
The Russos are like, yeah, we're in.
Oh, that's why they came back 100%. 100%. But Doomsday rumors. We're gonna buy or sell these as well. Nate, this is a good one for you. Peter Parker and Tony Stark will have a twisty reunion in the MCU. Are you buying or selling that Tom Holland's Spider-Man will recognize Robert Downey Jr. as Doom?
I think it's definitely going to happen. There's definitely going to be a moment between the two of them where either Doom, for whatever reason, has his mask off, because that's one thing I'm very skeptical of how they're going to handle that. That's probably my biggest worry with how Doom's going to be handled is the mask, but I think inevitably there's going to be some kind of connection between Peter and Doom, and maybe having him manipulate Peter in some way, or Peter just outright saying like, you're not as, like powerful or as smart or as worthy to be holding this power as Tony did, and he's gonna be like, what'd you just say to me, like that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's inevitably going to be something between them.
Spider-Man?
It's gotta happen. As much as I hate to say it, but it's gonna happen. I just don't want it to be obviously more Reed, or I don't want it to be more like Doom versus Spider-Man
Yeah.
or over Reed like we talked about. But I think it would be really, 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 really painful for Tom too if he sees like RDJ's face or Tony's face while he has the symbiote too. He would go nuts.
Okay. Doom's got to take out MJ. Symbiote Spider-Man doesn't pull his punches. I mean,
Doom could withstand that. That's no problem for him.
we'll see what they do with MCU Doom. I'm nervous about, like, I have these like great expectations for the character, obviously based on source, but like,
I'm still nervous, but I think they'll definitely establish him as, yeah, this guy's like, you saw how big of a deal Thanos was. This guy's like 10 times that.
yeah.
Minty's
Okay.
cooking out here.
I hope
Yeah, I
it's
know.
not nanotech on, not nanotech off, nanotech on, nanotech off. I hope it's not that for the mask. Like when he's
no,
fighting,
dude,
he's got it
I'll
on.
cry.
When he's talking, it's off. When he's fighting, it's on. When he's talking, it's off. It's like
They're
Quantum
literally
Media.
describing the MCU. Every
Well,
masked character in the MCU.
There's that one scene in Quantumania where he's teaching Cassie how to punch the guys, and she like flipping the mask on, and they go, "Oh, did I do it right?" Mask comes off, and they're like, "Yeah, good job, but maybe try it this." Mask goes on, they do it, come back up, mask is off. Okay, you see how I did that? Try that now. It's like just
God,
leave it on.
it's so bad.
We know who's playing them. Just leave the mask on.
Okay, real quick while we're on this is going to be a segue. Spider-Man, I'm going to add this in, this ad lib. Are you guys buying or selling that we're getting 2 or more versions of Doom before Secret Wars?
Before Secret Wars.
Before, okay, fine. We'll say including Secret Wars.
Okay. I'll say yes, just because there's no way Robert Downey Jr. is going to be playing him past Secret Wars. I think this is where you bring the definitive Doom in and say, this is the Doom going forward, and just either wipe out Robert Downey Jr. or it's just after the reboot, you get a different one.
Yeah. Spider-Man?
I think we get 2, but this conversation just begged me a question.
Okay.
How post Secret Wars, it got me thinking, will we even have another Doom in the reboot?
We have to.
How do you go on to remake the MCU and want to try to top Doctor Doom? Like, actually, I mean, no, that was stupid. I rescind what I said. What I take back. I was trying to cook something like a devil's advocate question thing up, but it was not going well.
No, but I mean, even to your point though, it's like, if they do reboot, you have a lot of great characters that you expect to see in Iron Man again. You would expect to see Steve
Panther.
Rogers, Captain America. You would expect to see a Black Panther. You would expect to see an origin of the Weapon X program that coincides with the history of Captain America in the 50s and all that kind. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that feels proper.
Yeah.
Right? A reboot is a proper streamline of stories that are told, so you can incorporate more characters without having the finesse and finagle things, or just omit characters in general that are pretty important in the storylines.
Yeah.
Civil
It just makes me feel like because they went RDJ like that, I don't know how they could ever go back to even attempting like Doom again. Like, I feel like this is their one time their third time that they're trying to perfect it, as much as we have been criticizing it and are trying to go all in for it. It's hard to think of them just immediately flipping back and being like, oh, here's our real Doom for like the future that we now have to fully build up and establish again.
You
Well,
know, he,
Which is what's kind of, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It just randomly came to me when you guys were talking.
the thing with Doom is that he's one of those villains that's always a pain in the ass for the heroes. Like he's always planning something.
That is
He's always
true.
trying to
That
take
is
over. But because like obviously Doomsday's coming in 2 years, to get, in my eyes, a perfect Doom, you need to build him up longer than that. I think
That's fair.
for the sake of Doomsday and this Secret Wars, they'll try to make it work as best as they can with the time span they have with Robert Downey Jr. And then after that, maybe they'll go into a more developed Doom, establishing the history of the Fantastic Four, doing like different things, influencing different events, like a Doom War or something else like down the line, with all the different heroes kind of having connections to him, because he's not just Fantastic Four villain. He's a villain for the Avengers. He's a villain for Spider-Man. He's a villain for sometimes the X-Men. So he has to be in the new one with his fingers in everyone's kind of realms.
That's very valid. My perspective of Doom is very. It's not quite as up there, or not just perspective, but I guess knowledge of Doom too. So I'm a little limited when it comes to thinking long term for him, I guess.
I mean, here's to that point though with Doom. If you do make him feel right off the bat like a multiversal Avengers level threat, there's a lot of room for a reboot. But you're also saying you're rebooting the Fantastic Four. That's why I feel like we're going to get a half-baked version of Doom, but we're also going to get a half-baked version of the Fantastic Four as well, because their origins are so intertwined. But then you can go, and Nate, to your point, like you can go way out there, and there are some storylines where like he is a world threat, a universal threat, to tons of different teams and characters, and like that's the feel just based on kind of the position that they're in now. However, this is going to be the first introduction for a lot of people who are just live action only, who never were on board with the 2000s version of the Fantastic Four. They never understood the Fan Four stick or whatever it might be that you want to call him. Like people didn't jump on board, and it was outside of the MCU. So some people didn't spend the time and take the time when they tried to jump on that bandwagon. So that for me is like, this is the third attempt at a Fantastic Four and also at a Doom, and we're still not getting what feels like a proper version of either. So again, yes, I think a reboot, there's still room. However, to Minty's point, yes, if it's the Russos that are handling this, it's RDJ who understands the assignment.
Yeah,
I do think it's going to be good. It's just not what I personally am asking for or hoping for.
Exactly. Like the Russo said, Secret Wars is their favorite comic event. So they realize the amount of attention they need to put into Doom. And obviously, like you said, Robert Downey Jr. knows the assignment. He'll do what needs to be done to honor the character for the sake of this. But 2-3 years is, in my opinion, not enough time to fully develop Doom.
No, I mean, not only develop Doom, but again, supposedly it's still on track, but we're getting the Fantastic Four next year. And from all accounts, it doesn't sound like Doom's going to be that heavily associated with them. And you would kind of think that he would be. You think they would be more intertwined to this point, at least. But go ahead.
So I was going to say, which kind of leans into the rumor of the Doom and Spider-Man focused rivalry instead of Reed and Doom, which is a massive mistake.
Ooh.
Massive
Do you know
mistake.
what that is? I haven't used this in a while. I forgot. I found it the other day. That is not Spider-Man no certified.
Damn
okay.
Right.
Last thing to tie into this, last rumor I want you to know if you guys are buying or selling this, which ties into rumors that we've heard from leakers online. Avengers Doomsday. It's going to have Wanda Maximoff. She's going to suffer from amnesia. Her memories of Westview and her past are going to be erased, and she is going to be closely associated and or in a relationship with Doom.
I was going to ask, are you going to mention that they're dating?
Yeah. Nate, you buying this or selling it?
I could see maybe certain things I'd buy. Maybe that he's maybe in possession of a Wanda that's maybe not in full control of her power. As far as the relationship thing, I just think that's like, what the heck are we doing here, Marvel? Like, are you seriously gonna do
So
that?
unnecessary.
I know. Like, it makes no... By the way, she's like in her mid-20s. Doctor Doom's with Robert Downey Jr. in his 50s. Oh my God, Minty. My God.
Oh, I don't even want to look at it. The freak off is gonna go crazy. Yo, StreamYard needs to add moderation to chats, man.
All right,
I mean, can you imagine Wiccan being like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm your dad."
Oh my God, no.
You're not my dad.
Just pushes him off Mount
Yeah.
Windagore.
100%. 100%.
Nuts.
Yeah, I could definitely buy maybe him using her as a weapon to alter different timelines into what he wants, potentially. I don't buy the whole relationship thing at all, though. I think that's a bit far out there.
Yeah. Spider-Brando, real quick, do any of these rumors sound familiar from another character that we've talked about for the last year plus?
Oh,
Come on, I know you know who.
Agatha?
No.
I'm confused now.
Oh, Kang.
Oh,
That was a thing with him and Wanda?
No, we actually talked about it here on the channel as a rumor around the Quantumania time of like what's going to happen, like after Loki season 1, how Wanda can come back, and then we were kind of like, maybe it's not Wanda, it could be Loki that he uses, but like it just feels to me, based on kind of ever since Quantumania, that they really did just kind of rip Kang out and they put this version of Doom into the slots, and they're just going to keep the same storyline with like tweaks of just versions of him that are doing certain things, and like just doesn't, like, something just feels cut and paste about a lot of these rumors that may or may not be true. I mean, some of these are credible-ish to an extent from the sources. I hate using that word with leak culture, but I don't know, man. Spider-Brand, are you buying or selling this? Sorry, I didn't even let you finish.
I'm selling it. 100. I'm selling the heck out of this. I remember when you first said this, it pissed me off. I hate it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense to do in the first. Just thinking of, like, not even like RDJ and Wanda, they had somewhat of a relationship, so it's not like they'd be paying off, I guess, kind of like a Tom Holland and Peter, or Tom Holland, Peter and Tony, or Peter seeing like his mentor's face type thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that. And
We can't show that one.
Anyway.
I'm just gonna close comments right now.
Oh no! All right. Real
Anyways,
quick. With this.
It's just
Go ahead.
stupid scenario that like the characters should not really intertwine with each other unless he does use like a broken Wanda to break the multiverse open or something.
Yeah. Oh, Minty. If I had faith in Marvel's ability to tell like long-term storytelling, I would be 100% down if Rio and Billy and the Coven and Agatha they were all working for Doom. Doom's like, I want Wanda. Like, do what you need to do to bring her back because I need her and only you guys can do it. I'm not strong enough from that perspective at this point, or maybe this version isn't. But the manipulation of a Rio, I think that would be fantastic. If you do pull and use Wanda in the way that he wants to for whatever multiversal reality shifting, because I think that would make sense. If we go a battle world, the power, what do you need? Is she stronger than a gauntlet type of thing? You know, who else can manipulate and hold together a world like Wanda can? So I think there would be a world where some of this is true, but
I don't see Doom employing the Coven to help him. They take like a full episode to figure something out. I think he's gonna be like, you guys are too slow. You guys are way too slow. I need this done now.
Yeah. I agree. Okay.
Oh, you just reminded me. New Agatha episode came out tonight.
And I will not be
I've
watching
been watching it. Yeah, I've been watching it weekly. Just the last 2 episodes have been dragging for me.
I've seen the online posts. Just shout out Wicked.
Yeah. Shout out Wiccan.
Oh, well done. But with Minty, we still see you.
Oh, I timed them out on Twitch. Oh, I timed them out for 10 seconds.
As we start with loyal listeners, this is one of the most loyal listeners of the Point 3 podcast.
Hey, listen. Sometimes
All right here.
we gotta show moderation sometimes. What could I say?
Minty, do you want to be a moderator for the
all
point?
messages are still there.
Minty, do you want to be a moderator for us? The answer is
Dun dun dun. I would trust him to be one.
give me the ball.
It'd be like Thanos getting all the stones. You're like,
spamming the chats, not moderating himself. Love it. Well, Nate, do you got anything else that we didn't get a chance to touch on that kind of came up from this last week?
in terms of this past week, I don't think there's anything else we didn't touch on. We pretty much covered anything major that was coming out. So yeah, it was a lot of fun going over all this stuff.
Yeah, it's I feel like on both sides of the MCU and DCU, like if something's brewing for better or worse, you get like there feels like something's beginning to bubble, which has been it's been missing for a while, but we're ready in October. We just need to make it past Venom. Get into some Craven, baby. Get into some Craven, and then we're well on our way. 2025. So it's gonna be crazy comic book movie year.
I think we got 3 pretty bad upcoming projects for superhero wise.
What's the third?
Captain America.
That's a bad one?
It's probably gonna be bad, dude. Let's be real.
I hope it's good.
I'm
I
not
want it to be
excited
good.
for it.
I hope it's good, but I'm assuming it's gonna be cheeks.
Yeah.
I mean, with all the reshoots, I could understand, but
I don't think it's gonna be a good story. I don't think it's gonna be a good story. It's gonna feel like choppy for that reason alone. The trailer is pretty cool, but I feel like that's where their inflated budget came into. Like, we need to beef it up a little bit. We throw all the edits.
Invasion trailers were good, but look how that turned out. So
yeah.
It's gotta earn my trust back. Then you got Daredevil.
Money.
Money. Thunderbolts looks pretty money.
Fantastic
And
Four.
then Fantastic Four. So we are.
And then Blade. Oh wait, nope, not anymore.
Not anymore. Go watch Blade and Deadpool and Wolverine.
When was Blade originally supposed to come out? Phase 4?
No. Oh yeah.
I bet you if it did come out when it was supposed to, we'd be waiting on Blade 2 right now.
Oh yeah, I mean we would have been just nowhere close to a follow up, and Mahershala Ali still would have been like, so what are we doing here? Like either way, he's just guessing like, what is my future in the MCU?
He's like the Pulp Fiction meme with John Travolta. He's like,
100%.
what am I doing right now? Well, when are we going to get this going?
Yeah, 100%. All right. Well, I think that's all we got for this live. Appreciate everyone. Huge special shout out to Nate from Thwip Media. If you haven't checked out his channel, his pages, or just chatted with him, definitely do that. One of probably our favorite guests we've had on the Point Through podcast since its inception. So always a pleasure, Nate. Appreciate you jumping on. Hopefully you'll come back soon because, again, you heard the list of projects that are coming down the pipeline. So definitely get our perspective, get Nate's perspective. And with that, everyone, 3 things that you got to keep doing. You got to keep watching. You got to keep reading. You got to keep nerding out. We will see you next Wednesday for our next Point Through podcast live stream. Take care.